Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? All right, today we are going to work on our little flip out project. And I am all prepared. No more crash and burn for the ladybug. Oh, good heavens, I can't believe I did that the last time. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm going to blame it on lack of food and brain power. Okay, so I have got my frame cut out. I am all prepared for you guys. And I have my white, my brain it's stuck again. I promise, I've had lunch. And I have my white, this is mixed media paper cut, and it's divided into 4 equal squares, and I was wrong about the measurement on the mixed media paper. It needs to be the same size as your 4 1/4. It needs to be this size, not your base. Not the 4 1/2. It needs to be the same size as your 4 1/4 base. Now, as you can very quickly tell, I've already cut my hole here, and I gave it a 1/2 inch border before I cut my hole. The reason I did that was I'm making a frame. And then I cut these little teeny tiny pieces. I know. Can you tell? And I'm going to make the little, I can't think of what these are called. I know they have a name. I know they do. And they're going to go like this. And because my background is a tree, I'm going to use my little ornament stickers. And I'm going to put my little ornament stickers in my little window. Even though you really can't see my tree very well. And here's my little flip. And I decided my little flip needs to go on the back of this instead of under. I think it'll look better. And I'm going to save this little piece for maybe a little tuck. Because it doesn't matter where I seem to cut. This little guy just seems to hang in there. So I'm saving him. I'm going to shove him in my book as a little tuck. So I am ready to start gluing here. And then we're going to add him to my wrapping paper piece. So let me sit down. And we're going to get started here. But I wanted to tell you everything I had done. So I've got my art glitter glue. And I'm going to start here. Come here, you. And these, and I've got the hiccups of all things to get at the beginning of a video are the hiccups. I hate the hiccups. And I get them all the time. My mom used to get the hiccups all the time too. Hers would go away in like a minute. Mine seemed to stay forever. Okay, I don't need you because I don't want to mess you up. Now, I drew those lines on purpose because I want to make sure that these are straight. Or is at least as straight as I can get them. Okay, so this needs to lay right in the middle. Right in the middle. Because this goes over it like that. Yeah. Okay. And then this little guy, this little blue one. Okay, you can come off. You can come off. This one with the little, I know you can't see the blue piece. Not you. You. I have a little tiny blue line on one of them. Is the top piece. I wish you guys could hear my wind outside my window. That's behind me since I flipped desks. It is howling. Okay, I'm going to spread that out a little bit. Okay, I think it goes this way. It is just howling today. It goes that way. And then this piece goes this way. And I'm just kind of dragging them to drag out that glue a little bit. Like that. Just like that. Okay? Just like that. Now I'm going to, my stickers, you know, they're on the sheet like that. I don't need that. I can lay this under here and pick out the ornaments that I want. And I can lay this on top of it. I'm just going to lay it there because I don't have the sheet on it yet. So I can just kind of lay it there and put my stickers underneath it and decide which one fits the best. Now, I already knew I wanted that one and that one. So I think I want that gold one. Oh, there's 3. I thought there were 4 styles. Okay, but I think I want this biggest one down here in the corner. Oh, you know what? I think before I do this, I think I want to ink this up just a little bit. Come on. Just a little bit. So these stand out a little bit better. Oh, you know what? Let me do this because otherwise I'm going to lose this. And I'm just using whatever's left on my dauber. I haven't touched it yet. Okay, get that glue off of there. There. Now these will stand out a little bit better. Now these are just, and then there's little stars. These are those little washi stickers. Oh my goodness. And these are so sticky. But I've had these for like 2 or 3 years. I don't think they ever lose their sticky power. And I want this one. Oops, don't you bend under there, you little stinker. If they do, I can put some glue on it. I want that one right there. Come on. There, I got it. There, see, it stands out a little bit better since I inked that up a little bit. I need to make sure that they're down too. There. Shoo, that's better. Okay. Now I want this gold colored one. This one, which I think is the same as this one. I want this one up towards the top. I think this one's really pretty. And I don't know if it's just me, but when I look at things, I always look at the top right first. Do I want to make that a little bit darker? I think I do. Because that's the side that I always look at first. Move that over just a smidgen. There. Okay. Now over here, I want to put, oops, don't go anywhere. I want this little red one. Or down at the, come on. Good gracious. I want this little red one. Oh my goodness sakes. There we go. Once it gives, it gives, but it just takes a minute. I think I want this one a little bit darker too. I think for these little ones, it needs to be just a little bit darker. Now let's scoot you in a little bit. Maybe scoot you up a little bit so your bow is touching the ribbon. There, I like that. Looks like you're being a little defiant, kind of like me. Now let's get that down right there. Aren't you a little stinkwood? Now up here, I think all these bigger ones are the same. Oh, they're not. That's a green top. That's a red top. Aha! Aren't you a trickster? But I think all these are the same. Green top, red top. Okay. Now these little stars, I'm going to put a star right there in the middle. And we're going to put you up here. Now, since you really can't see that, I'm wondering if maybe I should back that. So when I flip it over, maybe, you know what? Maybe that's what we'll do. Because otherwise, the back of it's going to be white, isn't it? I just realized that. Well, holy smokies. Maybe that's what we'll do. I just realized when I flip it out, it's going to be white on the back. Well, holy schmolies, Lori. Where's your brain been? Probably. I was wondering where it was before. All right, so let's put these away. Let's stick them back in here. Yeah, PJ's agreeing with me. Saying, Mom. All right, let's stick these in here so we can put these away. Now, this needs to go on here, but before I do that, I want to go on and cut. Now, I don't know if you can see this. This is just my little piece of laminate scrap that I have. So I need to cut mine to size. Oh, he's going to fuss at me now. So I'm just going to cut straight across here because I can trim it after I get it down. So let me get this off of my desk so I don't lose it. There we go. Oh, his friend across the street is out. Her daddy must be home. Okay. So I want to turn this over. And I'm going to put just a light, just right down there. Oh, I forgot my star, didn't I? Ooh, I'm glad I looked before I glued this down. Because I want my star there. And I think I might actually put one on the outside here. Now, let's go on and put that down. Holy Lord. Okay, so I've got a little bit here in the corner I need to deal with. Right here. Oops. There. Now, my little stars on this page. Okay, I want to take First I want to put some over here. Right there. I might put a couple right there actually. Come on. Gosh, these are hard to get off of here for some reason. There we go. And I want to put 3 right here in the middle. Oops. You know, he can see shadows, but he really doesn't know who that is that he's barking at. And if he was laying down on his bed where he's supposed to be, he wouldn't know that anybody's there. So I don't even know how he sees anything. Oh, yes I do. He was up in my chair where he's not supposed to be. Little stink pot. That's how he saw her. Okay, there's that. So I have that one there. That's how he saw her. He was up on my chair. He is such a little stinker. Such a little stinker. There's 2. And I forgot to ink the inside of that. Darn it. And I need to ink the outside of that when I trim it. So, let me go in and trim this so I can ink the outside of it. I need to get the glue wiped off of that corner that I did right there that was on my finger. But I want to ink the edge of this first because I'm just going to get it messy again. Okay. Now, what did I do? Here it is, right here. This side. Okay, so I need to wipe this glue off of here that I got in the corner. So let's get a wipe and I will show you how to wipe off if you get any oxide on things like this and any glue. You just take the tip of your baby wipe. Now let's get this cleaned out of the way here. Come here, trash. You take the tip of your baby wipe and you take it around like that. And that'll take care of any oxide that you get on there. And I have glue right there. And you can also wipe off your glue. So it must be on this side. And as long as you get it before you put it down, you can get off any glue or fingerprints, anything like that. And I had a little bit of glue right there. There we go. So now it's off. So now I just need to wipe it dry. So no more fingerprints, no more oxide, no more glue. Oh, but I do need to take it off of there. Okay, now it is clean. And I do want to put one more star, but I'll do that in just a minute. So now I want to glue this on here like that. So I'm going to do that before I get it messy again. So to do that, I am going to run my bead of glue down the outside edge. And it's the thinnest bead of glue I can possibly get. Just as thin as I can get. Because I know it's going to spread. I know it is. Now this is mixed media paper, so it will absorb it. Okay. And you just need to make sure that it's straight. And I didn't put any in the middle on purpose. There we go. Okay, so there's that part. Now, I need one more of my little, you know what, twinkle, twinkle. I'm going goofy again. Right there is where I wanted it. And I can put these back away because I'm done with these right now. Okay, so let's get this on the page. Okay, let's put this in here till we're ready for it. Okay, we can put that over there. Now, on the back of this is white. So I think I'm going to cut another piece of it and match it up. So that way when it flips in my book, it's not a white page. I didn't even realize that until after. I thought, oh, we're almost ready to put this together. And then I realized, when I flip it, it's going to be white. All right, so let's get this cut. What a silly girl. All right, so let's give this a quick cut out. Silly woman. Okay. Didn't even think of that. Okay, so now the back of my page won't be white. There. I'll make sure I have them both going the right direction. And we'll put this in there when we glue them together. But before we do that, I want to ink them up here. Oops, you need to go this way. Now I'm just using vintage photo on them here. No, I don't want anything real dark on them. But I am going to take this and just very lightly go over the top of it. You know, because the cover of my book is kind of an off-white, kind of light gray color. Okay. So I'm going to put these together. Now, I need to figure out where this is going to sit and how it's going to sit on my page. So I need to clear my mess up here so I can find my page. So let's put this stuff away. Oh, there's my page right there. There we go. Now, here's my page. Now, I want it to flip out of my page. Okay, so here's my page. Okay, so I want it to flip that way, okay? I want it to flip that way because that's going to open that way. Okay, so when I put that together, that needs to go in there, and that needs to go under there, and that will mount on there. Okay. So let's get that in there, right there. So oh dear, let it sit too long. Let's open it back up here. Now, if you don't want to use paper for your flip, you can use something like fabric. You can use washi tape. Okay, so now this is going on here, like that. So this is attaching. Make sure this attaches well to here. This will be the first piece I need to make sure attaches well. Now I'm just making sure this is attaching well right here. Now you can use any of your favorite glues for this, but you need to make sure that this side attaches better than any of the others right here. There. Okay. Now, any trimming that you need to do, see, I got it off when I put it on, just a smidgen, either that or I didn't cut it right, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to get my scissors and I'm just going to fix it. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. And across the top, just a smidgen. There. Then I'm going to unstick them off my here. Now, on this, remember this is going to go around my page, but this needs to attach here first. Now, you don't even have to use glue. You can use double stick tape if you want for this part of your project. The red tape, I've seen a lot of creators use lately. The red tape, the red double stick tape. I used to use it a lot. Let me make sure I'm doing this the right way. I used to use that a lot. Oh, you know what? That is not going to work because that is sticking out past my spine. Okay, so that is not going to work there. Because that sticks out past my spine. Okay, this is what I mean. I'd planned on putting it here. But I can't put it there. This is the part of that's being sewn into my book. See where it sticks out past my spine? It would stick into the spine of my book. So I can't put this on this page right here. But could I put it on this side and have it still fold? Yes, I can. This is the piece right here that's being sewn into my book. Right here. This is the spine. So yes, it will fit right here. So I'm flipping through my book. I open this. I open that. I open that. Not exactly what I wanted. Darn, 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 darn. All right, well, where else can I put that? Well, that just doesn't make me happy. Okay. All right, so that goes there. Where else can I put this? Well, I can put that there. Yeah, that can work there. I kind of wanted it a flip on a flip, though. That was my plan. Well, isn't that a stinker? Well, I guess it can go there. All that work, I'm definitely not giving it up now. Okay, so let's go on and put it here. We'll put it right here. What a little stinker you are. Okay, and I think I kind of want it up towards the top a little bit. And, oh dear, nope, nope, nope. And the reason I say nope, 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 that I just realized I haven't trimmed my pages yet. So this might be one of the pages that has to be trimmed, so I can't put this in yet. Don't put that in yet, Lori. And what do I mean by trimming? I haven't sewn my pages into my book yet. So, as you can see, they're all wampadoodled. And being wampadoodled, they all stick out here and there. Well, that's not usually one of the things I like. I like to go through and maybe have them a little more, but they don't stick out much, do they? Have them a little more even. So I go through and I kind of even them up a little bit, because I know as I add things to them, it's going to get really, really chunky. And then they're really going to stick out. So I'm going to do that before I add things like this, before I add my envelope. So we're going to save the ephemera that I make, and then we're just going to add it in all at one time. So I'm just going to lay that in there. And that way when we get all of those ready, we'll have them ready to put in there. Alrighty then. I forgot about that. So I'm glad I didn't do that and then come to it and go, uh-oh. Alright, so let's see how much time we have and make sure. Alright, we have 30 minutes. So I think those were the two big things that I wanted to do. Now, let's get our pages lined up here. And let's go on and get them trimmed up. And then we can get them sewn in. Or I'll get them sewn in to my book. All right. Tippity tap, tippity tap. So I need to look back through here and see, is there anything sticking out that I don't want cut off? That's already sticking out. No, anything I've already folded is small. Okay. Let's go on and take my ruler. All right, where are my big ones at here? Okay. So now I know this cover is where I want it to be. I'm going to turn this way, and I'm going to take my knife, and everything's going to match up to my cover. My outside cover here. In some of my pages, I'll have to re-round the corners, and that's no big deal. I'll just do that before I sew them in. And I'll do the same thing to the other book. Anything I need to re-round, I'll do before they get sewn in. Okay, there's that one. Okay, now across the top, there's just a little tiny bit I want to take off across the top. Just a little bit. I need another. Oops, I am so sorry. I need that to hold that closed. That's better. All right, let's get this cleaned up here. Now, I think in my book, I'll show you my cover again here. Hold on just a second. That is my cover right there. It's kind of a tan, neutral cover. And I just love it. And I think for mine, I want to add, well, I'll show you later what I'm going to add, because it's going to be maybe, I think I want to sew it in, actually. I don't think it's too big. I think it'll fit. There is a lovely card in here that I want to sew in. Let me find it here. This one. And it fits perfectly. And this is from my aunt. Right here. Actually, I don't think I want to sew it in. I think I want to put it on a page. Okay, so I'm going to save that to add. Now I remember why it's so chunky in the front. All of my paraphernalia I shoved up there. I want to add that, so I wanted to make sure I pulled that out. That is from my last living aunt. So I want to keep these things together. So I'm going to put all these things together here. Okay. Oh, there he goes again. I tell you what, my boys are having the hardest time with this time change. They're trying to convince me that it's one time when it really isn't. And the day that it actually changed was the worst. It was the worst. We just had to, Kenny and I just had to go for a walk. Sorry, I just threw my crocodile away. Went in the wrong place. Kenny and I just had to go for a walk to convince PJ that it was not his dinner time. Okay. So, to sew my things into here, I don't have any, like, initially I thought I wanted to maybe use red or a silver or, but I think I want to go, I have this charcoal, it's kind of a charcoal black color that matches these trees perfectly. So I think that's the color I want to use. I need to find the needle set. Those are the needles that I want. And that's my awl. And I'm pretty sure you can get like this thread in all kinds of different colors. But I that's the color that I want. Okay. So you do this just like with a hard book. 2, 3. Now I'm going to do mine a little bit longer. I'm going to do mine about 3.5 because I'm going to do a charm, a winter charm on the bottom of this, okay? So mine is a little bit longer than what I normally would do, okay? Because I'm going to tie a charm to it. So let me put that away. But other than that, that's the same. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to place this where I want it. Now, the one thing you do need to check, and I think I've told you this before, is make sure everything is going in the right direction. And I have sleds that I can make sure that everything's going in the right direction. Okay. Now I can take that out. I'll stick that over there. Make sure everything's going. If you have directional paper, and I also have that, remember that paper I stuck my finger through? Make sure it all is going in the right direction. Now, I just created one big signature. Find the middle. There it is. And I'm going to put that one there. I'm trying not to scoot them around too much. And I'm going to put this one down here on the bottom. Okay, I'm trying really hard not to scoot them. But you want everything tucked really tight into your fold. Okay, just take your fingers and make sure everything's tucked really, really tight. And then tuck everything really tight into the fold of your book. Now, one signature, I just try to center it into the fold of my book. Okay, I'm just trying to center it. And I'm going to get a big clip. I might even grab 2 of them here. I've just got 2 clips. And I'm going to put one down here at the bottom. And I'm grabbing my paper down here at the bottom. Now I've got this tucked as tight as I can tuck it. And then I'm going to use one up here at the top. That way it won't wiggle on me as I'm doing this, okay? Now, I'm going to go on and I'm just going to do this all at one time. So, I'm going to go on and get my needle together. Now, this is probably one of the few times I'm going to start with a needle with a point on it. Can you see that little point? It's just got a little tiny point. And I'm only going to go through the first part of my hole. Hey, buddy, I hear you. I hear you. And I'm just kind of guessing. Yeah, that looks about center. And I'm poking through with my awl. See, I just poked through. Can you see it against my hand? I'm just poking through. And then I'm going to take my needle with my point on it. And I'm pulling it through. Okay, that went through all the way. So I'm not going to need this sharp needle to come back. Because my awl's going through everything well. I can go back to my stubby needle. Well, I guess to them it is later, isn't it? They haven't quite figured out time change yet. I don't think any of us have. And then I'm going to go down to the bottom or to the top, whichever you prefer. And I'm just guessing about, yeah, that looks about right. And I'm going to poke through there. Right there. Now, the one thing I don't have in here yet is my envelope. And I just realized that. So I'm going to have to poke the holes for my envelope. And I will. I can untie this and put my envelope in here. Okay. Now I'm going to come all the way to the top. And I'm going to do the same thing at the top. And I'm going to poke all the way through the top. Just like that. Okay, and I'll do the same thing on the other one. I will do exactly the same thing on the other one. And now I'm going to go right back through the middle. And see, with everything clipped and not wiggling, it comes right through. I don't have to fuss with it. I don't have to lose pages. It all just goes right through. Now, my envelope that I didn't get in here is going to go right in the middle. So my knot, I'm going to make sure my knot isn't tied really tight, because when I'm ready for that envelope to go in, I want my envelope right here in the middle. Okay? So I can go on and do that. I'll show you how I'll do that. So if you go, oh man, I forgot to do something, just go on and line it up where you want it. Okay, so I kind of want my envelope, if you were going to sew it in, you'd want it to at least be at 2 points of connection, either at the top or at the bottom. Mine doesn't fit at 2 points either. So I would have to do something different with mine. I'm either going to have mine flip out on a page or do something else. I already have an idea for mine. So that's why mine didn't get sewn in. Now that I'm thinking about it. That's probably why I didn't do that. I had a different idea. So I'll show you my envelope. But the other envelope is getting sewn in. And when I sew in the signatures, it will get sewn in. And it will have 2 points. And I'll show you that envelope when it gets sewn in. So this one, I came right back through the center. Snug. 1, 2, guitar. Now, I'm going to tie 1, 2. Now, the charm I'm going to put on there is going to be, I think it's going to be one of my snowflakes, because I don't think I have a snowman. Oops, that's not the snowflakes. I'm trying to get it open. Sorry, you guys. I don't think I have a snowman. Which, oh, I do. I see it right there. I see it's right back there. I want to get it before I lose it. Right there is my little snowman. I think that's the only snowman I have. Yep, that's the only snowman I have. So it's going to be that little snowman. Yeah, I have lots of winter charms. I love winter. Okay. So let's go on and tie that in. Now, I need to decide where I want it. I don't want it hanging out really far, but I want it hanging out so it reaches the bottom of the page. Okay? So, I'm going to put it on here. And I want it to stay right there. And you tie it in a knot above it, so it can't walk up the there we go. Like that. Come back here. Don't go walking up there. Now, to keep this from coming out, I'm going to take my glue, get back up there, and I'm just going to put a little tiny dot of glue. See how I'm running the glue along the knot? Just a little tiny bit. That way the knot won't travel. It shouldn't, but getting knocked around the table, it might. You never know. Now, I have a right here. I want to put under it so it doesn't stick to the page. Just like that. And I'm going to let that dry. And then we're going to put our book binding away. All right, so that is it for today. A little better than going a little crazy, huh? Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Today was fun. We got our little thing made. Let me show it to you here. We got this made. And this is so cute. This turned out really cute. And it's going to flip out on the page like this. And here on the back, I think I'm going to put some pockets when it gets on the page. Oh, it's almost dry. And I think this envelope right here, it's going to flip out on a page. Okay, these are in, so all this can come out. There we go. We've got this on there, so this can be trimmed like that. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we'll put this right here in the middle. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that'll be nice. We'll put that there, and maybe we'll have this wrap around a page like this. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. That'll be fun. Yeah. Now, what I was telling you, if you want to sew this in your book, you need to have 2 points of contact. So, if you're going to sew this in your journal, here, let me show you in this one. The best way to have an envelope secure before you sew it in, say you want to have it here. Make sure you either have it high enough that when you sew in, it meets here and here that you're going to sew, or you have it up here high enough that when you sew in, you're hitting center and top or center and bottom. That way your envelope doesn't start going like this. Okay, that's what I mean about 2 points of contact. That's what you need to have. But my envelope and where my signatures are sewn in, it doesn't meet that. My points of contact for my signatures don't meet that. See? There's one and there's the other. I can get the bottom, but I can't get the center. I can get the top, but I still can't get the center. So the best way to do it, Now, I could stick it around it if I wanted, but it still might flop around. Now, I could run some glue around it if I wanted here and maybe stick it under one of them. But it still isn't going to be secure. I don't think it would be very secure, but it would be interesting to try. And I might try that just to see if it works. Because then I don't have this all in one spot. I can break it up. So I might try that because I can still untie this and slip it in someplace. Just running it through here. Like I can still run it through and not have it secured just to see what happens. Hey, it's my journal, so I don't know. But that's what we have so far made for my journal. So we're going to be adding them in, and I'll be making similar things for the other journal, but you just won't see them. So you won't get to see how they turn out. Now, for the other journal, we're going to make some things that you will see. Now, this is the card that does go in my journal because it is from my aunt. So the next video, you're going to see some work being done in this journal. And then we're going to sew in the signatures. So you will get to see some work being done in this journal. So until I see you again in our next Ladybug Journal video, ta-ta for now.